An earth-moving contractor collapses, owing millions. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because, well, there's some more sad news with the continuing construction apocalypse. Another construction company here, an earth mover, has collapsed, owing millions of dollars. This is just it seems to be a weekly occurrence at the moment now, and it's quite sad. So, another Queensland-based contractor has hit a major wall this month, owing over $7 million following a contractual dispute. Yeah, well, I mean, that's how it can happen in the game. Yeah, here's the thing. With some of the contracts, even if you don't get paid or you have a dispute, you still have to continue to provide service, so you're not in breach of the contract. It's not. It's a different world. Some people won't understand. So, liquidators say Brisbane's earth-moving contractor, or contractors, failed due to a massive dispute with a client, compounding on the impact felt from lengthy COVID-19 lockdowns. Now, you have to remember, the government intervened a lot, guys, to, well, come to the rescue. Part of that was keeping zombie companies alive. They were locking us all down to protect us all. They were keeping people going with JobKeeper. Look at the hundreds of thousands of people that are on JobKeeper. If you added the JobKeeper people together to the civil servants, it got really depressing. But they've been juicing the market too. So we've got an overheating construction market. We've got a whole bunch of zombie businesses that probably shouldn't have survived. But the question is, now that, it's been years later, years really, it feels like we've lost a year. Has it been worth it? Has it really been worth it? You know? You tell me, guys, because now we're paying the price for that intervention. The Courier Mail reported earth-moving contractors worked with major building firms like Hutchins, McNabb, and Lang O'Rourke. In a report lodged with ASIC, Dominic Calabretta and Mitchell Ball of Mackay Goodwin told creditors the company had used cash to support related entities despite posting losses over the past 2 years. So it looks like this whole period has been a nightmare for them. It appears the company's revenue and supply chain was significantly impacted as a result of the restrictions and lockdowns imposed from the COVID-19 pandemic, Mr. Ball said. It appears the company utilized cash in order to support related entities who failed to repay the company. Strict use of the company's cash would have assisted in discharging liabilities. Mr. Ball said the business had been impacted by disputes over 2 separate building projects in Coorparoo. According to the Courier Mail, the company had been involved in a string of high-profile projects since it was founded in 2005, including the DFO outlet at Jindalee and Evolution Apartments in Brisbane CBD. It came shortly after one of Queensland's biggest home builders went into liquidation, leaving the future uncertain for more than 200 new homes in the state's southeast. They're talking about Pivotal Homes. Yes, that labour cost. Well, we're familiar with that. And then, we're going to be reminded about Condev and ProBuild. And then, of course, Hontondo and Home Innovation. Notice when they do these articles, we've talked about all of these in previous episodes, and you can find those. So, perfect storm of factors behind the construction collapses. Some of Australia's biggest companies continue to topple amid the strain of a perfect storm of factors that have pushed costs up for housing construction and created expensive delays. And where's the... Okay, they're focusing on costs going up, but why aren't they discussing this bloody mess? The fact that the government has stepped in so much and intervened to the market. This is really the takeaway from all of this, guys. You've got to realize when people are calling for government intervention or government support, or we want this or we want that, it may sound good, but you have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and the implications of it over the long term. I see so many people calling for, we need manufacturing here in Australia, we need tariffs. They don't realize that just means you're calling for another tax. You want another tax that you pay to protect inefficient businesses. That's what it is. Because here in Australia, we've got a bunch of regulations and rules and green tape and bullshit that drives the cost of business up compared to other parts in the world. So we could either tax ourselves to make these businesses viable, to artificially drive up the cost of imported products, so reduce our quality of life, or we could reduce the amount of government intervention and juicing and bullshit in the market. Maybe we get rid of some of that green tape. Maybe we look at cheaper fossil fuel power, not all the hippy-dippy renewable stuff that costs so much. Just maybe. All of these things add up, and people don't realize the impact it has. So this is why it's not a perfect storm. It's not entirely unpredictable when the government steps in, juices the shit out of the housing market, and then you've got all these other supply issues as well. It's a nightmare. And people are going to call for it again. This is the problem. People don't learn. Masses. How does a population learn? How do masses learn? Maybe this inflation that we're going through, tough times. Notice everyone's bitching and moaning about iceberg lettuce being so expensive. And I've been told that that's due to weather as well. But also, remember guys, don't forget, wages for fruit pickers have gone up too. They've lifted up. Let's see the impact of that rolling through. Anyway, cost of a new home has increased by $76,000. Yep, what else? Anything else in here? Or is this just the same thing? Here we go. LVL timber. Yes, our laminated veneer lumber coming from Russia and Ukraine is causing problems as well, guys. So, another contractor collapses, owing $7 million. Dispute with big boys. I mean, some of the names here, you know what it's like dealing with some of the big businesses. Let's have a talk. I mean, that's how it is, guys. Another big, decent-sized business is gone. This is just a mess. This is going to continue. We're going to keep talking about it, probably for the next year, to be honest. That's kind of what I'm picking up on and what people are saying. Well, here's the thing: if you're working as an employee for one of these companies, I would suggest you diversify your income streams. Make sure you're not completely dependent on one source of income. If that's your business, you need to make sure you're not dependent on one client. The challenge I had as a small business, we were doing a whole lot of work. We did a lot of mining work with the Hutchies boys. And at some point, it was like 80-90% of our revenue was coming from one client in one sector, which was fantastic. It was helping us grow our business from nothing. But it was concerning being really dependent on that one sector. So I really did everything I could to get a diversity of clients and income streams, which is tough when your portfolio is a whole lot of volumetric modular work. But, we managed. Now I've learned just to reduce my costs. So that's another part of the challenge if you're working in this sector. I remember there were a whole lot of architects who were working on multi-res, and then that sector tanked. And then all of a sudden they got in trouble. It's just the way the game is, guys. Diversity of income, personal and business. Anyway. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can help out. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon, use any of our referral links, or contact us if you need an architect. Take care, guys. Have a great day. And I hope you have a good weekend. I'll see you next time. Still bloody cold here in Queensland, guys. It's freezing.